So I have to admit, I'm pretty stoked about this salt block as I love to entertain. I love cooking food and playing around with like different ways to cook food. And so I really hope that you enjoy this review. So here is the Himalayan salt block. It's actually quite a heavy piece of salt. And so it's quite thick. It comes with a stand so that you can kind of get that in and out of your oven pretty easily. To prep it, you're just going to rinse it off with water. This is not a dishwasher soap type product, and I hope that you know that. You're dealing with salt, so you're just going to rinse it off, wipe it off when you're done using it. You can put it in the fridge and cool it so that you could put cold, foods on it. If you want to cook on it, you need to heat it slowly. And actually in their little recipe guide, it walks you through the first time that you're heating it. You're gonna go 200 degrees for 20 minutes, 300 degrees for 15 minutes, 450 degrees for 15 minutes. And then you just sprinkle it with water to test and see if it's ready. And then, of course, be careful, it's heavy, and make sure that you're using oven mitts. Cleaning instructions, just use water. It is normal to start seeing cracks and changes in the block itself because the more that you cook on it, it's kind of like seasoning it if you've ever used like cast iron. But what I really like about it is that it's a natural antimicrobial surface, so you can feel comfortable that whatever you're cooking on it, you're not going to be spreading contaminants. And then also because of the benefits of salt. Like salt is really good for the body in the right way in helping with hydration, digestion, and different things like that. So I'm gonna now show you a couple different things that we're cooking on our salt block so that you can kind of get an idea of how we're using it. For our first time using it, I did discover that you do need to keep it on heat in order for the block to stay hot. So our pork chops turned out really good. They weren't terribly salty. Then we tried asparagus. Now my asparagus was frozen and therefore wetter, and so these did absorb a lot more salt and became a lot saltier. But again, I think if you were cooking it on a little bit higher heat, probably would have absorbed less salt. So keep that in mind as you cook on the salt block. Using fresh ingredients will do better. Then we tried thawed cod. However, it was a thicker piece of meat, therefore taking a little bit longer to cook. And again, as the moisture came out of it, it again absorbed more salt. But overall, I was able to cook these 4 fillets and the 2 walleye fillets in 30 minutes along with the asparagus. So it did cook pretty quick. And we did add lemon slices and a little bit of olive oil to it as it was cooking on the salt stone. As you can see, the pieces looked really good. Then here are the walleye fillets, and I was impressed with how they didn't stick to the salt stone and that the skin actually stayed on them. And so here's our finished dishes around. Next, I tried it in the fridge with the cold. We did cucumber slices with cheese and olives, like little skewers. And I must admit, this was probably my favorite way to use it, as the cucumbers just absorbed a little bit of salt, not too much. And these hors d'oeuvres were actually a huge hit. So definitely we'll be using it this way more often. Now for grilling tenderloin. So I heated up my salt block in the oven first, and then I put on my tenderloin fillets, and we are heading out to the grill. It is winter here, so it may affect the heating of the grill, and it did a really good job of cooking the tenderloins. But again, they were a tad on the salty side, probably because I didn't get it hot enough. Hey there. So in the end, I really enjoyed cooking on the salt block. So here's the side that I tended to cook the meats on. Here's the side that I did my cucumbers on. And it still has a lot of life to it, even though I ran it under the water several times. But I definitely will continue to experiment with the salt. As mentioned in the video, my advice would definitely be cooking on higher temperatures. I think with my stove, I'm gonna have to keep it on that top notch of the flame. And I just think that the hotter you can keep the stone and keeping that water burning off will definitely help with reducing the amount of salt that you're getting into your foods. Unless it's just that our family is more sensitive to salt and doesn't really care for that much salt. But if you're a salt lover, I think you're definitely going to enjoy cooking on this. So I hope that this review helps if you've been interested in cooking on salt stones, but haven't quite known how to do it. So I hope this video helped with showing the variety of ways that I tried it and the ways that I'm going to continue to try it. My favorite, I think, is going to be the grill. I can't wait to try it in the summer months. And then also for cold, like anything with cucumbers or tomatoes, a vegetable that just needs that little bit of extra salt, but you really want to display it on something really fun with some different sauces or oils or things like that. So thanks for watching and have a great day.